It is time to clean the coop after a long winter, and although we do like weekly and bi-weekly cleanings, it is time to get down and dirty. Definitely have to mask up, glove up, and get my cleaning supplies ready. We use pine pellets, the horse pellet bedding, in our coop and run. So I just got to go through and get all of this out. It's actually quite easy because I have a peel and stick flooring at the bottom of this coop. So it doesn't really get real tough to remove. It's just a lot of it because it's been from fall to winter. And you see that blowing? Yes, I have to wear my mask for that. The plan was to power wash it, but then I got this huge gaping hole in my hose and I can't even find my power wash nozzles. So now it's just old school, using the broken hose and a scrub brush to get as much grime and dirt off of this thing as I can get off. And let me tell you, it took a minute. This hose got about 11 holes in it from being run over by a lawnmower. But I love the hose. I just need to replace it, but I just can't at this moment. So we're going to do what it do, and we're going to use this hose to get this cleaned off because I need this clean today. So I'm just going in with my scrub brush, even on top, because I have one chicken who does not like to sleep in the coop. She likes to roost on top at night, so I definitely have to make sure the top is clean as well. I'm trying to get as much of this coop clean as possible with the supplies that I have, which is limited, but it's still gonna be cute, it's still gonna look good, and it's still gonna smell good because I'm gonna be out here scrubbing. I just want to make sure I get the outside good before I start scrubbing on the inside, and then I am going to make sure I get as much as the walls and spider webs that we have on the inside of there as possible. Some of the wood is not going to come clean, so I'm not expecting that to, but I'm trying to get as much as the dirt and grime and chicken stuff out and off of this coop as possible. I'm the one who does most of the coop cleaning, especially on the inside, because I am the smallest in the family. So I'm about the only one who can get totally all the way up in there to get it cleaned out. So everything is swept out of it. I'm just gonna spray it down on the inside before I start scrubbing. And again, I have peel and stick floors, so if they get damaged by the water, doesn't matter, they're like a buck a piece. I'll just go and pick up another slat to put in its place. But for the most part, they're pretty sturdy, so I don't really worry about it. Plus, it's not going to be wet in there that long. And there's a little gap in there, so the water is pushed out the back towards the back of the run. After getting it hosed down, I go with my scrub brush. And of course, this would have been so much easier if I had a good hose and my power wash attachment like I needed. But, you know, I'm not going to dwell on that, okay? Because we're going to get this done. I'm going to just scrub it real good. I don't know how footage ended up missing, but anyway, after I got it all rinsed out, I put feed bags back where their poop comes off their roosting bar, just to save that some cleaning for next time. And I'm laying down fresh pine pellets all over the floor and under and around their nesting boxes. The pellets, I'm going to use a whole bag in here because I'm actually redoing the entire coop. Usually I just refresh it after cleaning and sifting through it, but since I took it all out, I'm going to use a whole bag in here. And then I'm also going to put some lime in there later, all over the roosting bar, all over the flooring, and the chickens will make that nice and fluffy soon enough. After I have a pretty good even layer, I'm just going to make sure it's kind of even. Like I said, the chickens are going to move it around anyway. I'm going to go ahead and put their nesting boxes back in. Their nesting boxes are just milk crates, and I have 3 in there. They usually use 2. But I keep a 3rd in there because they like to fight. So sometimes they'll just go ahead and rotate and use the 3rd one. As you can see, my ladies are unfazed about me being in there. They just living their best life, coming in, peeking in off the camera and everything. But I went ahead and put all the nesting boxes back. And then I'm going to go in and, again, sprinkle lime, barn lime all over the coop, as well as spray it down with the poultry protector spray that I like to use. I spray the chickens with it. I spray their coop with it. Sometimes I'll spray around their the corners of their run as well. It smells good, it helps keep the bugs away, and it's easy to use. I also had a piece of linoleum flooring laying around that I went ahead and just added to the top of their milk crates so they can stop pooping through them on top. Now that the coop finally looks presentable, it's time to go work on the run. I'm going to start in this area back here on the side where their old roosting was. We put these branches in from a tree that had fell down previously, and we sawed pieces that they can roost on. They have since knocked them down. I have to find a way to keep them up. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do with that yet, but I do keep them in here. They still perch on them even when they're on the ground, but I'm going to try to keep them off the ground. As you can see, it's a struggle because they're stuck in the corner of the run, and I have to get them out of there, but it just won't be today. I just need them out the way so that I can get this coop cleaned so I can go sit down somewhere. It's been a long day already, and it stinks in here. All right, now that that's out the way, let's get to scraping this out. This area has hardly been cleaned compared to the rest of the run because of the branches, so I'm actually going to remove the layer of pine pellets that were actually in this corner. So I'm going to put everything goes into a little bucket, and then it goes over to my compost pile. So I go ahead and put it in the bucket, and I have somebody carry it over to the compost pile and bring it back. But this area hasn't really been scooped out at all. It's been raked over, but hasn't been scooped out. So we're going to go ahead and remove this side, lay new pellets, and then lay some lime down over here as well. Time to put the pine pellets down. As you can see, I am working in sections because it's just easier that way instead of trying to take it all out at one time and then lay it all back in. And plus, if I had to leave or do anything, I can do that because I know what section I already did. So I'm going to put a little bit of the pine pellets in there, and we're going to just move those around. Thank goodness for teenagers. Am I right? Am I right? Because that means I would have had to pick that up and take it over to the compost pile. I'm so glad I don't. But here I am putting down the barn lime in that area. And again, I'm going to put it, just sprinkle it around. The chickens will move it around so it gets everywhere once they go pecking through it. Most definitely wear a mask when you're doing this. You don't want to breathe this in. Just make sure safety first and wear a mask. This side of the run is where they usually dust bathe. It doesn't actually look bad, so I'm just gonna rake around, get any debris out of that area that they may have left in there. You know, like chicken bones and watermelon rinds, whatever could be left over there from them eating. But this is where they usually dust bathe at. So I'm just gonna get any extra feathers out, stuff like that. Break up the pine just a little bit, but it's actually pretty fluffy over there because again they dust bathe over there and move it all around. I'm not going to add any pellets over there, but I am going to add some barn lime over there as well. It's good for their dust bath anyway, so we're going to put some in that area. But as far as laying new pellets, I'm not going to do that on that side. Now this area, my goodness, is this stuff packed down, and it's thick and it's really compacted. So I am going to scrape it up. It has hardwire cloth on the bottom of this, so I'm going to scrape as close to the hardwire cloth as I can, and I'm going to turn it. Now I'm not going to remove this because it's actually not like filthy, if that makes any sense, but it is. I want to turn it a little bit and break up the clumps, and then we're going to lay fresh bedding on top of it. But this doesn't have to be removed. If it were really bad and it actually smelled super horrible, I would probably remove it. But with the layers that it has in it, it just needs to be turned over. From this side, you can kind of see what I mean. Like, it's really thick and impacted. I have to like dig the shovel down to get to the hard wire to get that loosened up and moved around. We are going to just turn this over as well. Most of the feathers end up towards the back where the branches are, or where they dust bathe at, so there's not usually a lot of feathers in front. So it's actually not that bad where I have to like scoop it all out and start fresh. So I just want to turn it. Any bad areas I will scoop out, but I usually don't have to. It's pretty good over here. Gonna kind of smooth it out, make it a little level. I should use kind of a leveler next time, but my usual thing to use is a metal rake. I only have a plastic one, and it is terrible to use in here. In this area is where they like to perch, or I usually put that planter usually has something in it so they can snack on something over there. So again, I'm just going to overturn this, and there's a lot of bugs and things that come up because of the planter, so that's where they like to snack at. So I'm just going to overturn the pine bedding over here as well, and then I'm going to lay fresh pellets all over and sprinkle everything with lime. That's my big girl Harriet Cluckman in the back, and also Shakira hanging out. Those are probably the most docile of all of my breeds that I have, and they're probably the most skittish too. But Harriet likes to escape out the run. The clumping on this side is major. As you can see, it takes a little muscle. It takes a little muscle to dig this out, but it's better that I only have to do this every couple months instead of all the time, and I don't have to really replace anything. I just have to break it up, smooth it back out, drop new pellets, and let them do the rest of the work. Laying pine pellets is not a science, because let me tell you, I could leave these in one big clump and they would end up all over the run. Especially Dolly Parhin, she is going to kick and go through all these pellets to make sure she can find her something to eat on. So I am gonna smooth them out, but I'm gonna dump them pretty much in one spot, and then I'll move them around a little bit, and I'll let them do the rest of the work. And of course, we gotta add some egg lime in here. There's a hole in the bottom of my bag. Look, everything is just messed up around here, but it gets the job done. So I'm gonna sprinkle that around. Again, doesn't really matter where I sprinkle it, because when they move these pellets around, they're gonna move this around as well. Just doing a light spreading and leveling because the girls will take care of the rest. And here we are, inside of the coop done. The run is done, and I am exhausted, to say the least, but I'm glad I got it done today so I don't have to worry about it. The girls, oh, there goes Bertha and Diana Ross. I'm gonna just throw out some scratch grain in here, and they are going to kick that around by themselves and kick the pellets around. That's a little trick to make sure that they can move this stuff around right after you clean it. Throw some treats in there. They'll get it done for you. It takes less work for them to do it than for you to do it. And since the coop is clean, I let the 5-weekers come out and spend a little time out here. They'll go back in the house. They can't come out for another 3 weeks, but they can spend time out here every once in a while. We also added an automatic door today. Big things going on around here. Thank you for joining me while I clean the coop. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.